Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to From the Depths with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to the sandbox mode for a bit of a talk before we get back into the campaign mode itself. So first of all, I would like to give a big thank you to everyone who's been showing support so far with this season. Everyone has been, for the most part, very positive and would like to see this campaign finished, so I almost certainly will be doing that. But before we get started on this episode, I just want to clear up a couple of misconceptions a few people have had, enough people that I think, rather than trying to answer everyone's comment, it would be better just to talk now. This season, this series, this campaign is being finished in my spare time. I have a set amount of hours every day I set forth to record and edit and do all of that stuff to make sure I don't get overwhelmed, and this is not being done in those hours. This is being done in my spare time as a bit of a labour of love. I just want to finish this campaign because it looks a bit of fun, it looks somewhat easy, and we can probably breeze through it rather quickly. And because of this, I won't be dedicating time which I would be otherwise dedicating to Ashes of Empire, Stonehearth, and a couple of new series which will be coming to the channel in the next few days. One of them from the past, and one of them which is a brand new game entirely. So don't worry about that. And because of this, I won't be heavily editing these episodes, so expect them to be posted quite quickly, but don't worry, it doesn't mean I am spending too much time on them, because I'm just not editing them that much. I'm just recording them as a solid recording block, rather than making sure I'm getting bits of high interest. So it's a more candid experience of my From the Depths game. So, a bit of a long intro, I do apologise for that, and once again, thank you so much for the likes and the positivity over the last couple of episodes. It's really nice to see that when I'm making something just for the fun of it, 100% for the fun of it, not really thinking so much as content for the channel and as a series. So thank you, and back into the campaign. And so here we are in the glorious Magenta campaign, and our main goal today is to make the Nurgle's Rot. Now the Nurgle's Rot is the vehicle I've had in the sandbox mode, the ship I was building originally, and my idea is to have a completely Nurgle themed fleet, the god of plague and rot and disgusting things like that, so a lot of greens, a lot of blacks, and a little bit of red. So a very dark, dreary fleet, almost like a ghost fleet, going from place to place. Although a ghost fleet is probably wrong, probably something more like an undead fleet, something rather forsaken and disgusting. So for that, we are going to have to save up some resource, but I will start building that right away. I've also went ahead, removed all of the ammunition processors, and added a load more ammo barrels, so now hopefully we can continue fighting relatively safely, or at least I hope we can be safe, and I'm hoping we can make the ship before the next attack comes. Thankfully, it's quite a cheap vehicle, so it shouldn't be too difficult. So I'm just going to wait around, and we'll be back soon. I have never seen a ship be built in such a weird order before. That's just really creepy. It's like we're piecing together a corpse. Now I've said that, that actually fits the theme very well. Carry on. As I got a little bit bored, I decided to add a couple of resource harvesters to the satellite, so we are now slowly draining the other resource zone in our tile. Not exactly the most honourable way to harvest a section, but at least it means we are getting a little bit of extra resource. Okay, so things have changed quite a bit since that last clip. An enemy is coming in from the northwest, so I've moved my satellite away, and I've moved in the starting fortress. Now, thankfully, the Nurgle's Rot has just been finished, but I do need to do a few final things just to make sure it actually works with the AI, and hopefully we can bring it in to the battle. Okay, so there's two enemy groups actually ready to attack us. Well then. This is actually somewhat problematic, but at least we get to fight them separately, so by the looks of things, they would have both hit our main group at the same time, so it was quite lined up, and by doing this, I'm getting to fight them one at a time, rather than all at the same time. So, to make things a little bit more interesting, let's increase this to maximum because it's just far more fun, as we are now fighting the Witch's Hat, that thing, and yet another cauldron. The Nurgle's Rot should now work, so let's spawn in everything. We'll have the starting fortress over here, and we'll have the Nurgle's Rot over here. Now, a quick look-see, just to make sure the back is against the stone. Actually, that's pretty bad. Let's just make sure we're not going to spawn into the ground. And by the looks of things, that will be okay. The satellite, of course, will stay out of the fight, and the Nurgle's Rot will be somewhere over here, so that it's instantly unleashing its broadside. We are against the Cauldron, the Barbar, I'm not sure how that last bit's meant to be pronounced, and we have the Witch's Hat, which apparently has already taken some damage. I will stay on the fortress and begin battle with maximum force count, so everything can be spawned in on both sides. Let's make it interesting. Okay, so of course we have the Cauldron, and for some reason one of the enemies not spawning in. There we are, let's make it nice and fair. That is a sheep witch. Oh, now I get the name. Okay, the Barbar. Okay, that actually makes complete sense, and apparently it does have a cannon in its hat. I wonder if it has any other types of weapon. The Cauldron and the Spoon we've already seen before, and the Witch's Hat is literally a flying witch's hat. Okay, and that is a pretty darn big missile, with frag, explosive, and EMP. Well, a little bit terrifying, I do admit. Really hoping that missile ends up in the water. The Nurgle's Rot has just fired its broadside, and the Cauldron takes it to the side. Now, that won't be a particularly powerful broadside, but it will fire continuously. It's got quite a high rate of fire, so hopefully that will do some damage over time. The Witch's Hat has taken several missiles and is going off course. The Barbar is in the water. The Spoon, on the other hand, is attacking the Nurgle's Rot from the other side, and has actually done quite a bit of damage. Broadside there, doing a lot of damage to the Cauldron. Quite hard to tell what's going on, honestly, since this is quite a bad position to try and get any good camera angle, and it's getting quite dark. Hopefully, I've made it a little bit brighter for you. I think the Nurgle's Rot doesn't have enough ammo on board. Yeah, definitely. Oh! Thankfully not detonating the inside, although the Nurgle's Rot is actually in a really bad position right now. Just because of, well, it's going to, yep, do that. Run adrift. And the flak isn't firing because we are out of ammunition. Yep, that's something we need to address with the Nurgle's Rot. It has enough ammunition to continuously fire a broadside, but then nothing else. Another set of missiles hitting the Nurgle's Rot, along with what look like smart bombs. Okay, that Spoon is actually a really powerful aircraft. And missiles just falling short. It seems like we have won this one, but not a spectacular victory. Yep, AI dead on one of the enemies. The Nurgle's Rot has managed to get out of the section it was trapped in. I think I might underestimate smart bombs, because those are really good. Missiles are going against this enemy, the Cauldron. The Cauldron could take way too much damage. It takes up far too much of our time. And the Spoon is still alive, and the flak is still not firing because, again, no ammunition. You know, the anti-aircraft weapon isn't currently firing against the Spoon. The Flyer. Oh, come on, missiles! One of you, two of you, yes, that's what I wanted to see. 2 hits. And by the looks of things, we have taken out its engine, and there it goes. Sorry for the terrible cameramanship, though, during that battle. I do apologise. A lot was going on, and I was trying to check on far too many things. But we are victorious, and the Nurgle's Rot definitely needs some repairs. And I'm going to go on board straight away, because honestly, oh. We are under attack already. Okay, I'm still going on board straight away because I need to add some ammunition. In fact, we actually lost our ammunition storage, so I'm going to go down below deck, add some ammunition, and hopefully the ship will look a little bit better. Although, to be honest, that looks really cool. Just right now, that looks awesome. The Ship of the Damned in very, very creepy water. Okay, so this may look a little bit insane, but what's going on here actually makes complete sense. Our satellite is running around forcing this group to follow it because there was a secondary force just here coming to attack us. We had 3 all at once, apparently. Yeah, that was nice and fair and stuff, so I need to be really careful, just keep on moving them as far away as possible to make sure we only fight that one.
Moving out.
Now sadly I can't start that fight because I can't see the enemy, and yes, please, do the fight! There we are, so Nurgle's Rot as close to the enemy as possible, of course, and the starting fortress spawn over here. We have a Corn Cruiser and a Bone Zone. I'm not quite sure what else, but that is what we have against us currently. And this time I will go on the Nurgle's Rot itself. Thank you very much, Satellite. Hopefully we can get you back so we don't end up losing you. And so the battle begins, apparently in a very pink ocean. So of course we have the Candy Corn Cruiser, we have the Bone Zone, we have the Vlad, and we have a Pumpkin. I'm not quite sure what the Pumpkin and the Vlad do, but I'm sure we will find out. Well, those are either very large missiles or very large torpedoes, we'll find out that very soon. And the Pumpkin, by the looks of things, has nukes. Oh, that is actually really bad considering how out in the open the Nurgle's Rot is, and apparently quite underwater. I think I need to save the vehicle a little bit higher up, because at the moment, this is the default how low it gets spawned into battles, which is a little bit odd, to be honest. Either way, though, into the battle we get. Missiles being released on both sides, the Pumpkin is airborne, which is actually really bad. Let's try and move away as much as possible. No, okay, the back section goes up anyway, the Pumpkin is there, and a nuclear detonation. I think the Nurgle's Rot was just lost. That was really quick. I have no idea what happened at the start there to cause such high detonation, but a nuke definitely hit us. Although we are still trying. We have lost our ammunition storage, however, so as soon as these cram cannons and the advanced cannons run out of ammo in themselves, they can no longer fire. The Bone Zone is going down, as is the Candy Corn Cruiser, and there is the Vlad. So, were they torpedoes or were they missiles? I can't see any torpedoes, so I can only assume they were missiles, although I can't see any of those either. It's a little bit late right now. Speaking, not really the best time for it. Oh, the poor thing. The Nurgle's Rot in the background as the oceans turn a sickly green as Nurgle's wrath descends upon us, and an immense amount of lag. I'm going to assume this is purely because of all the physics currently happening as our ships get rocked and just constantly forced to move. The Bone Zone's going down. Not really the best positioning here for our fortress. The Vlad is down. Only the Corn Cruiser remains, not detonating, and it's being hit heavily from both the Nurgle's Rot and the Starter Fortress, and now it is 2 damaged as well. Well done to our forces. That is really, really weird. I'm probably going to have to upload it at a really low bitrate again to YouTube, because yay for loads of moving things. So, Nurgle's Rot, how you doing, buddy? We need to better protect your ammo storage. Wow, that is really horrific. Though honestly, it doesn't seem to really be moving us that much. I'm not sure how much that actually does, but it really caused a huge FPS loss. Also, is our fortress going through the mountain to get to the resource zone? Because, yep, this game really needs better physics on land. This is one of the big problems with the Ashes of Empire campaign. This kind of stuff happens far too often. Okay, let's repair the Nurgle's Rot, and let's change the ammo storage again. Got to be honest though, that looks awesome. Just like a screen cap of that. That is actually amazing looking. That may end up as a wallpaper for me, so if anyone wants to have a look at the Nurgle's Rot coming out of the putrid green ocean, well, there it is. I really need to make more ships in this kind of style. I really, really like how it looks, even though it's nowhere near finished. So with that, let's pause it so it's no longer just moving around, and let's do a bit of engineering. So the cannons are fine, they do enough damage for the size. Again, this is quite a cheap vehicle, but the ammunition seems to be both lacking and far too vulnerable. Also, the missiles don't seem to be doing their job all that well. Ah, that may be because of this. Let's put them in this order, because this tends to do a lot better. There we are. That's going to help, and let's make them into cruise because of how little fuel we have. That makes no sense. Let's try to make them into cruise missiles by making them go further, is what I was meant to say. We do not need the one-turn block either. I have no idea why we have that, so why don't we turn them into triple warheads instead? There we are, fragment going up a little bit, and then to there, and then all of you are like that. Maybe I've done that before and I just needed to do that again. And now let's work on just armoring up things, which I'll probably skip because it's very, very boring. We also need a bit more speed. The Nurgle's Rot was just finished with its upgrades, and we are already under attack. Sadly, I did lose the satellite because it finally ended up in battle as it was slowly turning around to get back to the main force. We can, of course, remake it as soon as we're done with the enemy. Now, this is the last group of the groups which were currently attacking us, so hopefully we can defeat them. And if we can defeat them, we have been successful this day, and the Nurgle's Rot has proven to be okay, but very, very flawed, so it's definitely something we need to work on. Against us, we have a Bone Drake with a low volume but very high material cost, and then I have absolutely no idea. So, let's find out what we have. However, what I'm going to do is put this back here so it goes around as the fight starts, so we're not instantly shooting it. I think that would be a good idea. Okay, let's go. Maximum. Well, that was a bit weird, but the tipping is now fixed. It turns out having one bit of white on one side, which isn't on the other, on such a light vehicle, kind of makes things go mad. Also, yes, it is almost pitch black yet again. So now we have two satellites. Can one of you separate like so, and one of you please go over here so we can see what's going on over here as well? That would be fantastic. In fact, let's spawn you in so you can get all the way up to your maximum height so we can continue like that. So it seems the resource harvesters do tip us forwards at the moment because of the extra weight, so let's put you back to being the regular version. They're also getting in the way of our jet stabilizers, which is causing all of these problems. That should be like that, and now it should be rocking for a little while most likely, but that should be fine. Okay, the satellite's fine, everyone, nothing wrong, just a bit of me messing around too much. The satellite is back up to a regular height, and by the looks of things, what we should do is attack towards the east as soon as we have the forces to do so. And I think once we have two Nurgle's Rots, we can probably do that. If we lose them, it's not the end of the world, but if we win, we could possibly get quite a bit of resource, since we are getting, I believe, 10% resource from any enemy damage we do, which is really, really helpful. So we have a grand total of 4,000 resources here, which isn't too fantastic, but still. And if we are very sneaky, we can grab the enemies and force them into this section here, and then they will simply get stranded on the islands, and we can shell them from afar. I think that's what I'm going to do as soon as the Nurgle's Rot is finished. In the early hours of the morning, the two Nurgle's Rots are finished, so it's time to try to lure the enemy into the mountains. I'm really hoping this will work, and since the satellite is faster, let's use that for that job. Hello, enemy. Come on, follow me. Perfect, and as soon as they are where I think they're going to be, we can declare the fight. So what is the enemy? The enemy is a cauldron and a pumpkin chunkin. Of course it is. Oh, although it looks like they're going to be a little bit smarter than I'd hoped, and they may avoid this altogether. Let's see. Yeah, by the looks of things, we can't really trap them. That's a shame. It was a devious plan, and if we spawn them in now, at least they're in quite a bad position. So if we're lucky, they will simply run aground all by themselves. Let's have our two Nurgle's Rot going away from each other, and let's see how this can go. And maximum as always. The battle starts, and I am actually a little bit worried, namely, because we have to kill a spoon. Now that sounds really weird, but this is actually the thing I am the most scared of. So we have the cauldron in all of its regular glory, and then we have the new pumpkin opponent with what looks to be two tiny adorable fake aircraft. I'm not sure if they're meant to be looking like fake aircraft, but I'm fairly certain they are just turrets. In fact, yes, they certainly are. That is also very scary, so let's just see how it goes. I was hoping he would ram into that, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. Come on, broadside, fire, there we are, and the broadside goes off. We are taking some missiles, but the broadside hits doing next to nothing. Well, that's not really what I wanted to see, but thankfully, was that our flak? I'm not sure what just hit the spoon, but the spoon is very badly damaged. But not before hurting our Nurgle's Rot quite a bit. The enemy pumpkin has been removed, and I believe the Nurgle's Rot are victorious here. Fear the wrath of the broadside. I do keep on underestimating its power, because it is very fast shooting. It's not like one shell is going to do all that much, but because it's shooting every 3-4 seconds, or maybe a little bit longer than that, it definitely gets the job done. Oh, I'm so nervous about those. I do have a metal hull just underneath the wooden one, so it seems to have done the job there. As soon as one cannon goes up, it's pretty much a chain reaction since they are highly explosive. No idea where those missiles are going, but thank you for trying. The pumpkin is very badly damaged, and the other one is still firing! Ooh, which one am I currently aboard? I am on board of this one, okay. I'm going to swap for a second because I need to do a bit of manual maneuvering here because that is going way into the wrong direction. We have actually taken more damage than it looks. We are slowly sinking here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move around this, and then hopefully that's going to be able to block those missiles. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Well, apparently I just missed my other ship taking a critical amount of damage there. Too much focusing on this one. The cauldron is almost dead, but the pumpkin is still happily firing missiles. What a waste of a broadside there, but at least it looked very cool. Okay, sharp turn, slowing down for it. The cauldron is dead. Our other Nurgle's Rot, by the looks of things, is offline. So we have lost one. It's not dead. Okay, there we go. It's now sinking. Absolutely wonderful. It's hard to really talk about much when you're focusing so much on one vehicle. I'm also happy to say that the missiles didn't do the vast majority of things. It was mostly the shells. I'm actually quite proud of the Nurgle's Rot. So how we survived then is underneath that wooden top section we do have a layer of metal. It seems like it just about saved us. Well done, Nurgle's Rot, you won. And you got a lot of resource from it, although you do also now badly need repairs. So put you on repair, and what I'm going to do is get you over there. But by the looks of things, I am going to need to spawn one of you in for a second. Maybe that was quite a bad time, just to add a couple of repair bots. You do have them, but apparently you're not repairing at the moment. Not sure why. Let's just put a couple here. And then break that as well, so it'll be even when it's finished. So that should be able to auto-repair, and just to make things easier on myself, and perhaps if the enemy ever force us to fight very close quarters, we can hopefully repair each other if we do this. Compact repair tentacle, and you go all the way along here. Wonderful. Pull all, repair, and yep, you're both repairing now. Fantastic. Get over there, and I'll give you a resource harvester. Let's harvest this section. And with the Nurgle's rot happily harvesting the enemy's location, I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's episode. So if you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that From the Depths is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. In the next video, I think we should just continue to move outwards and try to find the enemy portal locations. I have no idea where they are, but thankfully this is a very small map, and honestly this campaign shouldn't last too much longer. Perhaps 5 episodes, I have no idea really, but that's certainly a valid speculation, I think. So, thank you for watching, and from the rocking Nurgle's rods, goodbye.